Once upon a time, a very poor woodcutter lived in a tiny cottage in the forest with his two children, Hansel and Gretel. His second wife often ill-treated the children. "There is not enough food in the house for us all," she declared, and she kept on trying to persuade her husband to abandon his children in the forest. The downcast woodcutter didn't know what to do. Hansel heard his parents' conversation and comforted Gretel. "Don't worry, if they leave us in the forest, we will find the home way," he said. And slipping out of the house, he filled his pockets with little white pebbles, then went back to bed. He led Hansel and Gretel away into the forest. At a certain point, the two children found they really were alone. Night fell, but the woodcutter didn't return. "Now give me your hand," he said. "We will get home safely, you will see." The tiny white pebbles gleamed in the moonlight, and the children found their way home. Next day, when their stepmother discovered that Hansel and Gretel had returned, she was very angry. The weak woodcutter protested. All night husband and wife quarreled. Hansel, however, hadn't eaten his bread, and as he walked through the trees, he left a trail of crumbs behind him to mark the way. But the little boy had forgotten about the hungry birds that lived in the forest. When they saw him, they flew along behind, and in no time at all had eaten all the crumbs. Again, with a lame excuse, the woodcutter left his two children by themselves. "I left a trail, like last time," Hansel whispered to Gretel, but when night fell, they saw to their horror that all the crumbs had gone. "I'm frightened," wept Gretel bitterly. "I'm cold and hungry, and I want to go home." "Don't be afraid, I'm here to look after you," Hansel tried to encourage his sister. When dawn broke, they started to wander about the forest, seeking a path they truly lost. On they walked and walked. Suddenly they came upon a strange cottage in the middle of a glade. "This is chocolate," gasped Hansel, as he broke a lump of plaster from the wall. "And this is icing," exclaimed Gretel, putting another piece of wall in her mouth. The children began to eat pieces of candy from cottage. "Isn't this delicious?" said Gretel, with her mouth full. "We will stay here," Hansel declared, munching a bit of nugget. "Well, well," said an old woman, peering out with a crafty look, and having the children a sweet tooth. Come in, you have nothing to fear," went on the old woman. "Unlike Hansel and Gretel, you are nothing but skin and bones," said the witch, locking Hansel into a cage. "I shall fatten you up and eat you." "You can't do the housework," she told Gretel grimly. "Then I'll make a meal of you two." The witch had very bad eyesight. "Let me feel your finger," said the witch to Hansel every day to check if he was getting any fatter. Hansel held out the bone. "You are still much too thin," she complained. "When will you become plump?" One day the witch tired of waiting. "Light the oven," she told Gretel. "We are going to have a tasty roasted boy today." A little later, hungry and impatient, she went on, "Run and see if the oven is hot enough." Gretel returned, whimpering. "I can't tell if it is not hot enough or not." Angrily the witch screamed at the girl. "Useless child. All right, I will see for myself." But when the witch bent down to peer inside the oven and check the heat, Gretel gave her a tremendous push and slammed the oven door shut. Gretel ran to set her brother free. "The witch is now burnt to a cinder," said Hansel, "so we will take this treasure with us." This time luck was with them. They saw their father come out of the house towards them. "Your stepmother is dead. Come home with me now, my dear children." The two children hugged the woodcutter. "Promise you will never ever desert us again," said Gretel. "Look, after we are very rich now, you will never have to chop wood again." And they all lived happily together after